Oh no. Okay, brace yourself. There's not a woman who's not at least a 4 crazy. I kind of want to know, but then that's horrible. I don't want to know. Oh my gosh. We move because you guys push us to craziness. Welcome back to another Reacts Raw video where I have no idea what I'm about to react to. You probably do, so why don't you tell me? All right, this is called The Crazy Hot Matrix. Interesting, catchy title.
So this is the universal hot crazy matrix. It's everything a young man needs to know about women.
Oh no. The Crazy Hot Matrix, everything a man needs to know about a woman. Okay, brace yourself.
I've developed this on my own over 46 years of living on the earth. So
He
this is how
developed
it
it
works.
on his own.
You have your crazy axis and your hot axis.
And great camera.
Hot is, as usual, measured from 0 to 10. We're all familiar with that. Crazy
I'm a little bit
is measured
nervous.
from 4 to 10 because, of course, there's no such thing as a woman who's not at least a 4 crazy.
There's not a woman who's not at least a 4 crazy. Where's the quiz? I need to find out what I am.
4 to 10.
4 to 10.
This is your hot crazy line right here. Very important that you keep in mind.
So crazy starts at 4, but hot starts at 0.
The hot crazy line is. As a rule, this is your no-go zone. We do not hang around and date and marry women who are not, at least in our mind, a 5. So this is your no.
I wonder if that's true. A no-go zone is a woman who's not at least a 5 in their mind. Okay, if you have a woman who you think is less than a 5, I kind of want to know, but then that's horrible. I don't want to know.
You don't go here. We just rule this out. Life is better this way. That's the way it is.
I wonder how many people watch this and go, well, what's your hot scale? How come your video's so blurry so we can't tell and judge you?
Above a 5 and to about an 8 and below the crazy line, this is your fun zone. You can hang out here and meet these girls and spend time with them. That's your fun zone, but keep in mind when you're in the fun zone, you want to move out of the fun zone to a more permanent location.
You want to move out of the fun zone.
Fun zone above a 5, hot, below an 8, hot, and below the crazy line. This means these are most of the time not crazy, okay?
Most of the time, not crazy. I consider myself not a crazy person, but I could think watching something like this for too long would make me feel very crazy and agitated.
Above the crazy line, we have the danger zone. This is your redheads, your strippers, anyone named Tiffany.
Oh my gosh. Okay, I think there's that movie where the girl comes in and she's all crazy and she's throwing things and breaking things and licking the guy's face and he doesn't want anything to do with her and he's trying to get her out of the apartment. Okay, so I know the danger zone.
Hairdressers. This is where your car gets keyed, you get a bunny in the pot, your tires get slashed, and you wind up in jail. Now we have some of the chart filled in. We got a couple more pieces to put in, but at this point, understand something. This is not a static environment. This is a situation where you have got to use this matrix over time to develop some reliable data. It's like a dope chart, okay? Because at any moment in time, any woman that you have previously located on this chart can vanish from that location and appear anywhere else on.
So let's plot women on a chart for our assumptions and judgments about how they look and how they behave, and oh my gosh, they might move on the chart and suddenly become crazy. I wonder who's making them crazy. Ted, I don't know what your name is, but yeah, we move because you guys push us to craziness. Let's just put that out there.
What you have to do is over time collect some data, and once you have a cluster of data points,
A cluster
you
of
can begin to
data.
consider that reliable. Now, moving on, you have this zone here. This is below the crazy line, above an 8 hot.
Okay, this whole thing is horrible, right? But it's really funny and you can really see how it does make sense, unfortunately. Sometimes, I'm a woman and not sometimes I'm a woman. I am a woman and sometimes I am embarrassed by my other female friends. So yeah, I can see how this makes sense. And it's funny and I hate it at the same time.
But still, about a 7 crazy. This is your date zone. You can stay in the date zone indefinitely. These are women that you introduce to your friends and your family. They're good looking and they're reasonably not crazy most of the time. Okay, so you can stay here indefinitely. Now,
all right, target date zone.
Above an 8 hot and between about a 7 and a 5 crazy, this is your wife zone. Okay? When you meet this girl, you should consider a long-term relationship. This zone is not scaled to size. This is a representation and not an actual. This is not a pie chart showing you.
It's not a pie chart.
This is simply a representation of what you're after. You want to be 5 to 7 crazy above an 8 hot.
5 to 7 crazy above an 8 hot. He put a lot of time into this.
Below 5 crazy and above an 8 hot, this is your unicorn zone. These things don't exist.
Has anybody done this for men in like alpha male and toxic masculinity? I'd be really curious to see that one too. I love how in our society it's like totally cool to like judge all the ladies.
We'd like to study it and maybe look at how to replicate that. Okay?
Replicate the unicorn.
So I was explaining this to a guy one time and he said, wait a minute. I met this girl and she's like smoking hot. She's like at least a 9 and she's chill. She's totally cool. She's like not even a 3 crazy. I said, you're telling me you've met a girl, she's a 9 hot, and she's like a 2 or a 3 crazy. He said, yeah, man, I like her a lot. I said, you should be careful. That's a dude.
For the women watching, is there a male version of that? I mean, would it also be?
Oh, yeah, it's a little simpler.
If a dude is...
It's a little simpler. That's a very loaded statement because we know that biologically men are simpler creatures. I want to see where this goes.
Yeah, it's a little simpler, but we can do it real quick. It doesn't take very long at all.
Of course, okay, this is going to be the man's chart made by a man. All you ladies out there, I'd like to see what kind of charts you come up with.
This is your matrix. You got your cute axis.
Cute.
And you got your money axis, okay? And if you have...
Why don't we get a hot axis?
Women have a very large no-go zone. This is for dudes who are neither hot nor have a lot of money. You'll notice over here, this is the husband section. Once you cross a line and have sufficient amounts of money, it is no longer relevant how hot you are. And then women have a fun zone here where a dude is broke but hot.
Broke but hot. Okay.
That is the cute versus rich matrix for women's use.
And there you have it. Oh my goodness. The saying, it's funny because it's true. This video is so funny and there's so much truth into it. And at the same time, I don't like it and I don't want it to be true. So I'm having my little inner tug of war right now, which is going, okay, it's funny and it's true, but I don't want it to be true. But what do I want? How are we going to get there? I like that we can watch things like this for the humor in it, as long as it's not taken too seriously. Because I know for me in a relationship, I want way more than something that's going to show up on an axis. There is some truth to this. If you are with a crazy person, you absolutely want to get out before somebody gets hurt. You do want to find those commonalities where you're having fun and being wild and crazy and doing all those cool things and then also able to chill, and you do want to find each other attractive, and you do want to have money in the bank so that you can do all the exploring, and you do want to have that intimacy. There's so many pieces that go to the puzzle. So it's funny to see it kind of narrow down into this fun chart, but really there's so much that goes into relationships. And it's interesting. One of the things I've noticed about myself is the more personal development I do, the more personal growth I do, what I'm looking for changes. And what I look for in myself changes, the way I want to be changes. And I'm proud to say I am not on the crazy side. This has been your ray of sunshine. Thank you for watching this Raw Reacts video, and I invite you to check on the next one.